Oh, hey. This was
Paul, remember your Paul's mother, yeah.
beautiful. Okay. So, classroom meetings.
Yeah, why not?
The rabbi sketches stuff.
No, rabbi's not saying.
Well, first of all, the Inter says let's start for Thursday anyway, right?
I'm not aware of any, I'm just saying, I know there's school changes, so that's why.
Let's open the Maharsha. Yesterday we saw Tosfot. We have in Sefer Daniel to read the story about Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. Maybe we should read the story first, or maybe we read it first. We have to take a copy of it. Well, he first opened Sefer Daniel, Perek Gimel, really the end of Perek Bet. Sefer Daniel is really in Aramaic. I have a book that's Hebrew and Aramaic. Basically, the story of Sefer Daniel is that when the Jewish people came to Babel, Nebuchadnezzar used to collect the smartest kids from every nation, raise them, support them, and then shows them to be his advisors. As it happened, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah were chosen by him to be his advisors. He realized that they understand what goes on in the country. And before that, Nebuchadnezzar has a dream. He forgot about the dream, and he told his astrologers. I'm summarizing Perek Bet, I read it last night. He told his astrologers, if you don't remember my dream, if you cannot figure out what is my dream, I'll kill you.
Yeah, plenty of this.
Anyway, Daniel told him the dream. Here is the point. The point is the interpretation of the dream was as strong as you are, as mighty as you are, but at the end you are going to fall from grace because the Jewish people are going to rise. I mean, this is he's very scared. So this is how the third perek begins. Open Daniel Perek Gimel. So again, the background of what we are about to read, which is not in Hebrew, is that Daniel, who Nebuchadnezzar, the mighty king, believes has godly power, told him, "You're great, you're big, but the end will come, and the Jewish people, more or less, the Mashiach is going to come, and he's very frightened." But the reason I'm giving it to you is because remember, we have to decide, was the idol, the huge idol that he built, was it Avodah Zarah or not? So let's read it in Aramaic. I'll translate better the translation I have straight to Hebrew or Rashi. You have Daniel Perek Gimel. Nebuchadnezzar the king, Avad, Selem, did have Ruma Amin Shitin. The height was 60 feet. This is made from gold. It's at least 100 feet tall. Petaya is width 6. Akime, he erected it to Bikat Tura in a certain valley in Dinat Bavel. Look at Pasuk Bet.
Is it all Aramaic?
Aramaic. No, the reason
I know.
I looked last night here and I'm looking at Rashi.
Is there any specific reason why they did it?
I'm sure there are many explanations. I remember when Daniel wrote it,
That was his number.
Wasn't Daniel a child, young, 13, 14 at this point, or?
he started as a young, yeah. ולנבוכדנצר המלכה, King Nebuchadnezzar, shalach lemichnash, sent a message all over the country. In our languages, to all the mayors, to all the governors, to all the powerful people. I'm translating it because if you realize there's no mention to Jews, yes?
Yeah.
Look, is gathering Achdar de Panaya, Sganaya, if you remember Megillat Esther, Achdar Panim, Pachvata, all them who is who in the huge country of Babel, the Kol Shiltonei Medinta Lemeta to gather, the Chanukat to dedication, Chanukat Salma, Tselem, whatever it is, remember Tselem, Yikim Nebuchadnezzar Malka. Okay. Skip Pasuk Gimal is basically, and everyone, remember, so there is a representative of every country, every community, every government official. Okay, now, this is the announcement.
It's like Achashverosh when he brought
Very
everybody to
similar,
his-
very,
to
very
his
similar.
father.
If you pay attention, Achash der Panaya
Yeah, you
is the
said it.
Megillat Esther, you have it all the time.
How much time between Nebuchadnezzar and Mordechai? Just approximately.
Not a long time.
Can't be long. A generation.
70 years. Yeah, I mean, the Gemara says, okay, Pasuk Dalet, Ukaru Zakara Bechir, an announcement out loud and clear, Amrin, Amemaya, Umaya, Venishnaya. Every nation, every representative, everyone should know. Beidna, at the time, the Tishmaun Kal Karna, will hear the trumpets, the shofar, Zimra, Mashrukita. By the way, Eliezer ben Yehuda took many of the mother.
It's a whistle. Yeah, it's a whistle.
Katro Sipcha, a piano in Hebrew is psanter, right here from here. Psanterin, Sumpenaya, symphony, yes.
Symphony. Look at
Which
that.
means this is different type of musical instruments that are making whatever. The kol zanei zimra, different type of music. Tiplun, all of you who are gathered here, you have to fall down, betisgedun, and bow down. Let's sell them the hava to the gold, sell them, whatever it is. The Yakim Nebuchadnezzar Malka. Okay, this is the easy part, but Umin di laipal, whoever is not going to fall down and Beizgad Beishata, Itramun Lego Atun Nura Yakalata. Whoever does not follow my orders is going to be thrown to the furnace of fire. Kol kval dele bei zimna. Here on the page. Kadei shaman. Okay, now it's repeating. Yes, when the music was heard, when the noise was heard, everyone. Look at the end of the pasuk. Everyone fell down. Pasuk emphasizes Kol Amemaya, every representative of every ethnic group, Umaya Velishnaya, different languages, Sagdin, bowed, let's tell them, okay, now is the time to pay back to the Jews. I mean, think for a minute, there are 4 Jews that they're from the highest position in the country. Why am I saying for highest position? Because go back a second to the end of the previous paragraph. Go back 1 page.
Zion?
No, Gimel, go to Gimel.
Go back.
Go, yeah.
Go back to
At
bed, end of bed.
the end of back, look on top of the
Got
previous. No, not
Page
like
nine,
on top of the
page nine.
previous page.
On the right
Please
side.
remember again, the entire parak bed is talking. Nebuchadnezzar has a frightening dream and he forgets his dream, forgot. He takes all his interpreters, no one, if you don't tell us what, Daniel somehow came up, told him, and right away Nebuchadnezzar fell on the floor. He believed the guy had some
We have a
godly power.
dialogue with Daniel?
He is appointed to be the chief CEO, the most powerful man in the country. Daniel, being a wise man, look what he says of it.
Rabbi, is the big event in response to the dream, or the event is a separate item and it's just happening at the same time?
So no, this is before.
Yeah,
This is a background.
See, yeah.
Look at Pasuk Mem Zan. Look at that. Anei Malka Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar says to Daniel after he interpreted Amar, Mink short, this is clear. The Elohechon, your God, Elohai Elohinu Mara Malchim. Obviously, your God is the God that he can tell you the secrets, the Galei Razim, and he is telling
But
you.
that's so dope.
Listen. Adain Malka Daniel Rabbi Umatnani gave him gifts and this and this and this and this, and he made him in our language like Al-Kol Medinat Bavel. He's in charge of all the government. Pasuk Memtet is the background to what we are going to read now. The Daniel Ba'e min Malka, Daniel is requesting Umanei Alavida de Medinat Bavel. I need an assistance. Who are they? Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. This is the Babylonian name of Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So he says to the king, the only thing I need is so remember, think for a minute, out of nowhere, you're bringing Jews to Washington, to every state, but this is in a country where everyone believes in different religions. Or now we are Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah in the valley, and they are the only three who are not bowing down. Let's see what happens. So now go back to Perek Gimel.
Does that mean that Daniel?
Pasuk Oh, where is
about
Daniel? Where is Daniel? Nebuchadnezzar was afraid to tell him you must be there, so he gave him like a mission, and Daniel went to a mission to the country.
Because he didn't want him to.
Yes, he knew he wouldn't
He
back.
liked it too much.
Right. He needed him, so it says in the text what I just told you. Look a minute. Kol Pasuk Chet now. Kol keval denei Beizimna at that time. Krivu guvrain kasdiin. V'achlun kurzel means they informed Nebuchadnezzar, the Jews.
Is that where Rashi picks it up back in Kedoshim?
Exactly. No, maybe this. Anu ve'amru Nebuchadnezzar Malka. Look how they talk to the king. Malka almin chayei. Your honor should live forever. It says, did you tell everyone that when they hear the noises and the music, they have to fall down? Yes. Pasuk Yud Aleph, Umin di la yipol ve'isgod yitrameh lego atun. And you said that whoever is not falling should be thrown to the furnace. Here, Itai Guvrin Yehuda, and 3 Jewish people, Imanit Yat On, and they tell them that you appointed them Al Avidat Medinat Bavel, you gave them powers to run the country. Here are the names: Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. Lo Samu Alach Malka, they didn't listen to you. Le Elohach, you see, here is the language, right? Le Elohach, La Parchim, they are not bowing down to your God. ולצלם דדהבה כי כמעט לא סגדים. See, this pasuk shows us, they're telling them they are not believing in your God, which is fine. Then, ולצלם דהבה כי כמעט לא סגדים.
Well, you could substitute Mordechai here for these 3 people.
Very similar,
It's over. It's the same thing. The words are the same. The concept is the same.
Oh, no question about it.
And you have Bashar HaMelech is the same.
As Eli mentioned yesterday, the Gemara in Megillah says, why were the people of the Jewish people, why did they have the fear of almost being annihilated? The Gemara says because of this event.
But there's a difference between bowing down to an actual Salem.
Okay, we're going to see in a minute. Ba'adei Nebuchadnezzar, Pasuk 13, Birgaz v'chamat, he became very angry. If you read carefully, when he got angry, people, Amar, throw them to the fire. Okay? Look at Pasuk Yudalet carefully now.
But he knew Daniel would not die.
But
Yeah,
Daniel was
yeah,
right.
yeah.
He said Daniel a while.
Look a second, now look at Pasuk 14. ענה נבוכדנצר ואמר לאון, he said Nebuchadnezzar before is flogging them. Chatzda means my decrees. Chatzda, אמר לו, חצדה שדרך משך לגול, לאלוהי לא יתיכון פרחי. To my God, I believe you're not bowing, I hear that. But ולצלם דדהבה דיאקשימו אותי, and my statue, whatever it is, you did not bow down. Anyway, he repeats, when you listen to the music, when you look, Santorin, Symphony, but you didn't. Listen, this is what we need now. Pasuk Tetzai.
But I'm not sure what they did. They didn't bow. They didn't.
They stood straight and they did not.
But they didn't. But what does it say? They didn't worship his God, but the Pesach.
So he's telling them, you're not worshiping my God, which, so to say, I can hear.
It's not one and the same.
But
though.
this,
The God and the Satan are not the same.
I'm saying I can hear only to accommodate the Tosfot. I mean, normally you can say, listen, this gold statue represents my God, but he is clearly
But is this a rhetorical question he's asking in your Dalit?
is just
He's making
he's
a concession
explaining
in a
them
way.
before they are being punished. Why? They listen now.
Okay.
This is what we want. What we want is Pasuk Design. They are answering him like this. Anu, they answered, Shadrach, Meshach, ve'Avad Nego, they answering, ואומרים להם, למלכה נבוכדנצר, yes, לה חשכין אנחנו, we don't need a reason to explain to you, to answer your, so to say, accusation. Look at Pasuk Yud En iti Elohana, our God, the Anachna Palchim, that we worship, Yachol Leshezvutana, can save us, Min Atun Nura Yakadata. I mean, can you imagine? You know, it's easy to read.
There you go.
It's in font, and in a minute you'll see that he tells his slaves to put 7 times more wood in this furnace.
Egging them on. So
And Umin Yadach Malka, he says, our God can save us with your hand. And they repeat now. Ve'en la yagia le'ever lach Malka, you should know, le'elohach, to your God, lo itana palchin. Again, you realize we're not going to worship your God, but excelem the Hava, the Akomi, and this gold piece, whatever it means, don't is God. You realize this is why Tosafot are struggling with the Tselem, real Avodah Zarah, right? Because it's very clear. Anyway, can you imagine this is in his face now? But then Nebuchadnezzar itmalech he got very upset. B'tselem anpui ishtane, his demeanor changes. Al Shadrach, Meshach, ve'Abednego, go on, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, Ana ve'amar lemazir le'atunya, add to the fire, Chad Shiva, 7 times more wood.
It's antagonistic. They antagonize.
well, also,
Really, I mean, you realize.
and also they're telling him this in public. Everybody's hearing it,
This is the
humiliating.
That's
key.
antagonistic.
It's like you're telling the Don and the Mafia.
Yeah.
Public.
Yeah, if it's private, it's one thing. It's bad public.
Veleguvrin, listen to this now. To his strong men,
Yeah.
Giborei Chayil, Amar lekafte, they should tie up. Why should they? So I saw last night, very interesting. He assumed if they have the guts to speak so much chutzpah, they're very strong people, they would fight back. So he says, tie them up. Okay. And then tie them up and throw them in. But
I thought they were walking in the garden, Rabbi. I thought they walked.
this is after they were thrown in. בעדיין גובריה ילך כפתו בשר בליל. See, we never pay attention to psukim, but here this halacha we learn from him. They were tied it together with the suits or the special garments that they are wearing. Okay, why is the pasuk emphasizing it?
Why are you telling
So
about
the
garments?
Gemara is telling us, look at the Rashi a second, look at the Rashi in the first line.
On the left page.
מכאן למדו חכמים שאפילו בשעת הסכנה לא ישנה אדם מן השררה שהוחזק בהם. A Jewish man facing the situation should, his
Just
external demeanor should not change. I mean, the only reason I remember it is many years ago, Rabbi Schwab,
Yes.
who later became the rabbi of Washington Heights, was a rabbi in Germany. Before he escaped Germany, every night he used to sleep with a suit because he knew that he was going to be called by the Germans. And here it says, when they're being called, and he knew that they're not going to drink coffee with him. Yeah, this
They
is
shouldn't hang me, he said, they shouldn't hang me in my pajamas.
right. I mean, this is the story. In the story, it sounds good.
Wow.
Anyway, כל כבר גלה מבין מילת מלכה מחטפה ואתונה. The king and his advisors, yes, are standing around when the furnace of fire is very, very hot. Look carefully now what it says. Remember, if the fire is so strong, so the heat spreads outside.
Yeah.
Some of those who threw them into the fire got burned from the heat of the fire. Had to come close and throw them. Okay, fine.
Okay, they're telling us that.
Here, look at Pasuk Chav Gimal, V'guvraya ilech tlat all. These three people, Shadrach, Meshach, the three, Naful fell into the furnace of fire. Now you assume that within seconds or
He'll be
minutes,
gone.
they are fried. Adei Nebuchadnezzar Malkat Haba V'kam. He looks in and he gets frightened. He says to his advisors, we threw in three and I see four people there.
Oh.
I see four people walking in the furnace of fire. Aneh ve'amar, Pasuk 25, Hachaza Guvrin Arba, I see four. Me'alchin b'go nura v'chaval lo iti, I don't see any damage, any bruise on them. I see that they are intact. Ve'raveh di revia, and the fourth one, Dama, looks like no. Bar Elohim, like an angel, like a son of God.
Scary.
I mean, he will now is very frightened. But then Nebuchadnezzar comes near the furnace and he talks into it. He says, come out. They come out. Now his advisors, you look at all the names, all the governors are coming around. Look at Pasuk 27. Umitkanshin, they gathered. Achashderpanaya, Sganaya, the Vice President Machbata, Adrei Barka, Chazin leguvraya ileim. Look at them. Yilo shalit nura begashmeim. The fire didn't touch them. Even the hair, the beard, was not. The sarbaleim and the special uniform, the garments, lo shanu. The reach nur. They don't smell.
Smoking.
From smoke. Ana Nebuchadnezzar ve'amar. Again, Brich Eloheo Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Blessed is the God, Dishalach Malachei, that is.
This is when they shut him up.
Dishalach Malachei, that sent his messenger on the fourth. Vishaziv, and they saved the Avdui. Okay, fine. This is.
They said if he kept on going.
Right,
it would have been
look
very
at
bad.
Pasuk 29. Umini Shim Tam Bikol Am V'Uma V'Lashon. From now on, this is my command. The Yomar that says anything against the Jewish God, Al Elohan, the Shadrach. Okay, this is the language of a dictator. His house is going to be destroyed, and he is going to be dust.
He saw the light.
Fine, this is it. Fine. I remember the rest of the story is that for 7 years he disappears from the map. He becomes like an animal. Fine. If you read these psukim, you can hear very well what we saw yesterday to Safot, that perhaps this gold statue was not a real Avodah Zarah, but I mean, I read it last night just for that purpose, as if I didn't know the Tosfot. What is the message, Rani, that you read? What was the point of the gold statue? Any way you look at it is connecting it with God, which means if Daniel told me that my power is going to come to an end, and I'm going to fall from grace, and I'm going to be demised, I'm going to show that it's not so. Yes? Now we understand that yesterday we had a problem. If the Safot are telling us it was not a real Avodah Zarah, so what gave them the right? Okay, the Gemara is telling us they learned it from the frogs, but what gave them the halachic right to do it? The answer is
Right,
statement-
to defy it, in other words, they could have bowed down because it
To
wasn't
give their
God.
life.
this is the
They
question.
put their
of
life
the-
at risk.
This is the question of
It
the
was like
Safot.
almost suicidal.
This is the question of the Safot. See, if you learn like Rashi, this was like Avodah Zarah. Okay, they have to. But,
So then they were.
the Safot are asking on Rashi if it's a real Avodah Zarah, they must.
Maybe
Why
because
why do they have to learn from the frog?
Maybe it would be appearing as if they did, therefore would be a whole degradation of all Judaism.
Right,
Because if they're doing it, it must be.
But you do realize that by the end of the story, the Nebuchadnezzar publicly says to everyone, you see that the Jewish God is superpower. Yes. And everyone.
They didn't know that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Perhaps this was the purpose.
Yeah.
Let's go now to the Maharsha. Remember a week ago when we spoke about the Maharsha,
They have any chance of it? Maybe they had a sense
it
that
seemed
they
that
were
they-
so strong they were
No,
going to stand
if-
up
if-
and make a
if
statement
they-
for the Jews.
if they
Actually,
would have a
they-
prophecy,
They said they were gonna be saved.
if they would have a prophecy, they would ask. The Gemara said that he went to ask Yechezkel and Avi also.
Oh,
Let's look at the Maharsha. The Maharsha is going to defend Rashi. Look at the Maharsha. Last week, if you remember, we mentioned the Maharsha. And at that time, I was screaming and Sammy, and I was looking ready for 2 days to apologize because I remember through the Maharsha, I have to apologize to his when he comes. Say it about
does he
it.
deserve it?
He doesn't. No.
He did, Rabbi, he did actually. the way
I
he-
don't know.
he said
I don't know
about-
who should
Rabbi, I don't know
apologize.
what he said about the
Yeah,
Maharsha.
I learned one thing. What he said, in my opinion, is wrong, but for me, I raised my voice too much and I really felt.
Yeah, but he was, the way he described
I
his
know,
words against the Maharsha was not the right way.
I know. What he said, I'm not saying what he said is right.
Anyway,
I'm saying
it's all good.
the way I reacted, I was wrong. Look at Maharsha, דף נ"ג עמוד ב'. No, באמת, what I look at Maharsha, I remembered about the incident, I figured it's not here, neither today nor yesterday. דף נ"ג עמוד ב' the Maharsha,
Yeah, but Rabbi, but
What
you
Mil Gibel of what?
understood that he should speak like that
פסחים
again.
נ"ג עמוד ב'. The Maharsha, he was going to defend Rashi. The Maharsha starts with the words Marahu Hananya. Remember, the Maharsha that you're looking, Larry, has two parts. One is the bold print, is the Maharsha, and normally.
I have Marsha Chidushei Halachot, Marsha Chidushei Agadot.
Oh, you have it, yeah, exactly there. Yeah. See, right here. It's a fascinating Maharsha here. Marahu Hananya. You have it, Eli.
I think so.
It says Chet Aleph, it's a small print, yes? Yes, it's right here.
Okay.
Look with him, listen to the Maharsha. Again, Ayan Rashi, here's the Maharsha, Ayan Pirush Rashi. Yes, so remember, Rashi understood that this was a real Avodah Zarah. So the Safot are asking on Rashi, so why do Hananiah, Mishael, Bazariah are learning a lesson from the frogs? If it's Avodah Zarah, it's the ABC, you have to give your life.
Right.
Ayen Pirush Rashi says the Maharsha, והתוספות והר"ן דחו פירושו. תוספות and the Ran disagree with Rashi. ופירשו התוספות, מה ראו שלא ברחו. First the Maharsha says, what's the proof of Tosfot? Because Daniel escaped. So Tosafot are saying, the question was, why are you coming to this gathering the same way that Daniel escaped, you should just,
Escape.
this is what the Gemara is questioning, yes?
Oh, Daniel had a free pass, they didn't have a free
Oh.
pass.
ויש לגמגם בדבריהם. The Maharsha says, it's a respectful way of talking to Tosfot. מדניאל לקראיה, the Daniel שבקו לו לברוח. They gave him permission, they made it easy for him to escape. כי דקאמר התם, you hear this? I told you in the previous chapter, ונבוכדנצר אמר, נבוכדנצר in advance already says, יזיל Daniel Ma'achal, let Daniel escape. Hello, Lema Kali Le'Eloha Benura. He was afraid that Daniel would not listen, and then he would have to burn him, and they would say, "Hey, you're killing your God, Daniel." Remember, God by them is an object or person that radiates power. And since Nebuchadnezzar fell and admitted that Daniel is, so to say, so remember, the Daniel barach mitam דקאמר התם, ולא לקיים בהם פסילי אלוהים ושרפון באש. Okay, let's leave it for now. So now the Maharsha is going to defend Rashi. Again, if the gold statue is Avodah Zarah, how can Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah have a doubt? Listen carefully what he says. There are many.
How's your time?
Oh, okay. Okay, should we start? Okay, we can start. Yes. Because yesterday I came right on time and והנראה לקיים פירש רש"י ולא תיקשי, הדאמרינא בעבודה זרה לא יעבור ויערב. ואפילו לא, איקא למהם הריס, todos לא סביר ליחי. This man in the Gemara in Pesachim that presents the case, אלא סביר עלי כרבי ישמעאל. The פליג, yes, וכאמר בפרק בן סורר, מניין שהם אומרים לאדם עבוד עבודת כוכבים שיעבור ולא יהרג. He, Rabbi Ishmael, says this is only in public. So even though there were 100,000 people there, they were not Jews. He says, if you remember, there's no time, but I wanted to look in. When Naaman, the general of Aram, is telling Elisha, I'm accepting that God is the only king, but listen good. When I'm accompanying my king to the church, and Elisha says, fine. Why? Says the Gemara, because there are no Jews there. So,
But he's a boy. So does he have to give his life? There's a whole thing. Does he have to give his life to a boy? But here we have Jews, though. Why we didn't have 10 Jews?
There are 3 Jews, but there are not 10 Jews in the crowd.
But how are we comparing a Jew to a boy in the halakha?
The Gemara says over there that the obligation to give your life by a goy is only parhesed. He brings the cases because there are no parhesed is 10 Jews. This is what the Gemara says. Tomorrow we'll look into.
That's why you told us to look in that Yoredeya, because
It's for validating that he doesn't have to give his life. It's mutar for
He
him to
does
balance.
not because there are no
10 Jews. That's
So you
why.
see for the
He's a boy.
Gemara, no, the Gemara, so the Gemara brings the raya from there that there's no obligation on the boy to do.
Same.
Otherwise, he would not give him a blessing.
Right.
If you have to die the same as a Jew, yes, why is he validating his going to the church? Okay, so remember, so basically what he is answering is that Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah held, since there are no Jews there, maybe we're not obligated. They knew that if there are 10 Jews, we have to die. So again, the idol is an idol. If there are 10 Jews, the question is, are we permitted to give our lives or not? Tomorrow we'll come back to it.
but that's what the Yoredeya, isn't that what the Yoredeya is about?
We don't look at tomorrow's
This where's this go?
Oh, that's what,
Wait. This goes, one goes
Here,
to this,
okay. The
and
rest.
the rest goes to us.
Benet?
Okay, but especially the Gemara, it's
Okay,
part of
see
the
what
big
you
shots
know.
we have.
So
And
just
then
straight.
maybe
Then we move to downstairs,
Where
the
in
room
the
with all the books on the right side.
okay.
You have a pile. I'm
I'm
sorry, what did you start to say?
so that we have to go back now to the Yoredeya, because I'm confused about that one, so.
Yeah, tomorrow, looking, you're there tomorrow, after we look in the Gemara in Sanhedrin, we'll go back to your there.
Because
So,
I'm
but
wa-
basically, we summarizing today is there are two opinions of Tanaim. Is the obligation to die for the three cardinal sins. It's always, even in private, if an Italian comes with a gun in your basement, or this is only in front of 10 Jews. Halacha is even in private.
But what about, when you do this bending down, is that a concept, lahaviro al hadat?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's doing it.
Okay, that's why, okay. I don't understand all this, so that's why it's new to me.
Tomorrow we'll look at, yes.
I remember
Nice day, yeah.
for some reason I had to go to some Christian place